Hello and welcome back to Cultivated World, the channel that brings you the good stuff from the world of watches. Well, this isn't something that you see every day. A Rolex Submariner with factory set diamonds and blue sapphires. We'll be taking a close look at the details of this gem set Submariner and discussing whether Rolex has taken this watch a step too far. This is the Rolex Submariner with reference 116659 SABR, or the SABR as some people like to call it, and it is undeniably a sight to behold. Irrespective of your view of diamonds on a man's watch, you have to admit this watch is a bit special. Although it is suggested that Rolex produces up to 1 million watches per year, only a relatively tiny proportion of that are set with precious stones. Many of the Rolex collections have had the iced out treatment, from date justs and day dates with simple diamond hour markers, all the way up to things like the Rainbow Daytona and fully blinged out GMT Master 2s like the one Ronaldo was sporting recently. The most exceptional and extravagant of these examples are always reserved for so-called VIPs. These particular watches are never shown on the Rolex website, and the prices are on a need-to-know basis. As the old saying goes, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. So let's dive in and take a look at those details. Haha, dive in, get it? The case and bracelet are made from 18 karat white gold, so you have that reassuring heft on your wrist that you can only get from precious metal. All in all, the base seems to be identical to that of the now discontinued Submariner with the blue dial and bezel, all the way down to the polished center links. We'll be doing a direct comparison between these two models, so please subscribe to our channel to ensure that you don't miss that one. The dial is a blue sunray dial that is unlike any other in the Submariner lineup. The way the light dances on the dial complements the bezel beautifully. There is one extraordinary detail about this dial, or should I say missing from this dial. Have you spotted it? I'll give you a moment. Rolex have decided to leave out the depth rating from the dial of the Submariner, and I quite like it. It looks just that little bit less busy. In fact, I think the Submariner would look much better without its tech spec listed on the dial. What do you guys think? One theory for Rolex leaving this off the dial is that despite the watch being built to have a 300-meter water resistance, the settings of the gems may not be able to hold up and could dislodge. The bezel is embellished with some of the finest natural diamonds and sapphires available. The internal Rolex gemologists are responsible for painstakingly sourcing the perfect gems in the exact colours. If you notice on the bezel, from 12 o'clock round to 3 o'clock, the sapphires are in a lighter shade of blue. This is to represent the small graduation markers like on an ordinary Submariner. Each 10-minute marker on the bezel is denoted by a baguette diamond, and with a triangle-shaped diamond at the top of the bezel. The bezel is fully functional and rotates just like it does on a standard Submariner. The lugs and crown guard are decorated with further brilliant cut diamonds. This is one part of this watch that I'm unsure of. Maybe Rolex should have left these areas clear of any diamonds. What do you guys think? So, Who is this watch aimed at? It's certainly not for a newbie watch collector or the faint-hearted. This watch was created with serious watch collectors in mind. Someone that has been collecting watches for years. Someone that isn't that excited by a steel Submariner or GMT, or even a steel Daytona, because they've been there, they've done that already. For me, this type of watch is like one of those exclusive hypercars from the likes of Ferrari or Lamborghini. The LaFerrari, or more recently the new Countach, was offered to existing VIP customers who already have extensive collections of the more mainstream models. These cars are a step up from the mainstay products, utilizing more exotic technologies and materials. They are produced in super limited numbers and are often sold out even before the general public are made aware of their very existence. These types of unicorn projects allow the brands to produce something more extraordinary, to push the boundaries and create something on another level without the usual constraints. Whether this is a watch you would personally wear or not, we can still all step back and admire it. This is essentially a white gold version of one of the most popular watches ever made and has been sprinkled with some of the finest gemstones. I very much doubt that the camera is doing this watch justice. It is mesmerizing and it absolutely sparkles in the light. Although these types of watches are unobtainable for most, quite frankly, the world is a better place for them. It's great to see when our favourite brands create something without limits, and because the results are extreme, everybody has an opinion. Some people may say that money can't buy style, but when you have enough money to purchase and wear a watch like this, you tend not to care what other people think. What do you think of the Rolex Submariner SABR? If you could afford one, would you wear it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching our video of this jewel-encrusted Rolex Submariner SABR. And if you like watches as much as we do and want to see more watch content like this, please like and subscribe, and remember to hit that bell icon.